Hey, Phoenix, which cafe shop are you at today?
I'm at Marina 1.
Huh? You love cafe hopping so much, and you came all the way here to Marina 1?
Hey, it's different, okay, Remus? This is a very, very special coffee shop. It's called Strangers at Courtyard. And it is for anyone who's working at Rajah Tann to either de-stress or get refreshment from a cup of coffee.
Oh, I see. Then why do you have access here today? I mean, you're not a lawyer yet.
Excuse me? I'm here to interview a very, very special someone who's also the board of advisor of UK SLSS. Come with me.
Hi, I'm Chi Tern. I'm a partner at Rajah Tann. I've been with the firm since January 2010 when I joined as a RLT. I got called in August 2011 and today I'm a partner in the capital markets and M&A teams, and I'm also a recruitment partner in the firm.
What is like a day in the life of a corporate lawyer here at Rajah Tann?
Well, I suppose corporate work, there are many types of corporate work, right? You have your advisory kind of corporate work, you have your transactional corporate work. So myself, I'm more of a transactional corporate lawyer dealing with capital markets and M&A work. It really depends. Most days, as a partner, you would be dealing with quite a lot of calls, meetings, negotiations, drafting sessions. So I would say half the day is taken up by calls. The other half the day, reviewing documents. Of course, as a partner, it's also important to be doing business development. So there is some time allocated for that. On top of that, given I also do recruitment, part of my day also dealing with recruitment activities, whether preparing for our internships, preparing the training program for our incoming practice trainees.
Yeah, so you were saying that you were doing recruitment. I think a lot of our Singaporean students want to know about maybe how is the whole recruitment process and what are the different factors that you take into consideration when you are recruiting them.
Well, I suppose the recruitment process, there are several stages, and I'm talking really just about graduate recruitment, right? We have our internship programs, which our structured ones run during the summer months for UK students. We have 3 structured programs. I think the first one is a little bit too early for the UK students because you might be still finishing up term. But the second and third structured programs, running through June as well as August, that would be the first chance, for us to get to know you. And really, it's the first step in recruitment for us. What we like to see during internships is for interns to really showcase their potential, get to know us, and let us get to know them, right? Because I think end of the day at R&T, the fit into the firm is the most important thing. After internships, for people in their second year, that's really when we start reviewing the training contract applications, and that's in early September.
For the UK students?
It's the same. Okay. So for the UK students and for the local graduates, the submission process is the same. And it opens 1st September 2021. End of the day, what do we look for in a CV? We look for a candidate that's fairly well-rounded, both in terms of academics as well as their extracurricular activities. It's like I mentioned earlier, it's important that you fit into the firm's culture, especially when we work. We have a very team-based approach to the way we do work. It's difficult to have someone who doesn't fit well with a team, and some of our teams are very big. For example, my team has pushing 60 lawyers. So if you have someone who doesn't quite have the same sort of buy-in, the same sort of beliefs as the team, then it might be quite difficult.
A lot of people, a lot of our students actually were, maybe corporate work is very boring, not as fun as litigation. Yeah.
I think it's different strokes for different people. Litigation work, I do agree, it can be very interesting. At the same time, there are, certain litigation processes, if I may put it, which may not be as interesting as people think, right? You have your standard applications which go to court. Of course, when you have a very big trial, I think that of course is very exciting. Corporate work, there are many types as well. You have your advisory work, which may not be as sexy in the traditional sense. Having said that, in today's world, when you are talking, if you just look at the news in the last few days, digital bank licenses. You know, the whole regulatory regime for fintech is changing. The way people look at startups, you know, the Payment Services Act. Advisory work in itself is also changing. It is becoming increasingly more sexy. For the capital markets practice, I think that actually is one of the most interesting areas of legal practice you can be in, because you get to travel for that. So I have been to India, to China, to Japan on site visits.
Sounds very exciting.
Yeah, so I don't think any other practice area would actually let you travel as much.
Yeah.
And I've been to see dairy farms, I've been to see mines, I've been to see buildings, I've been to see hospitals. So I suppose that's a very interesting part of capital markets work. End of the day, if you're working in a big firm like Rajah Tann, you're doing cutting edge deals. These are the deals that make the front pages. These are the deals that, you know, people get excited about.
Opportunities that they get.
Yeah. So I think, you know, as a practitioner, to see your deal be featured on the front page of the Business Times, whether it's a capital markets deal or M&A deal, I think it's exciting. And the skills are fairly transferable in that sense, because for both capital markets and M&A transactions, you're looking to problem solve, right? Everybody's looking for a solution that can help both sets of clients. Whether you are fundraising, you are buying, or you are selling, end of the day, getting a deal done successfully, I think is the most satisfying thing for practitioners. Yeah, for practitioners, absolutely. And it keeps people like me going.
Keeps you motivated.
It keeps us motivated, and I think there are people out there who are just adrenaline junkies in a different way, and getting the deal across the line for many of us, you know.
Yeah, that's great to know. Yeah, so how was it like doing your masters as well? Because maybe you can share more about like what the different subjects that you choose.
Yeah, I suppose the BCL is for many people, they do the BCL because they intend to pursue a career in dispute resolution. For me, I think it was a bit different. I wanted the Oxford experience, but at the same time with a more corporate outlook on things. So I did corporate finance, corporate insolvency, competition law, and transnational commercial law. Yeah, very, very corporate. And I think the good thing was that I had some of the best teachers that anybody can imagine. So Sir Roy Good was actually one of my lecturers, and I remember walking through icy, snowy floors on a cold January morning just to get to his class at 8:30 in the morning. Professor Ewan McKendrick was one of my other tutors, and these are the people who were writing your textbooks, you see.
Yeah.
So that made it very exciting, and you know, you were a bit starstruck at the time, I feel, but yes, I mean, it was a very good experience.
Yeah, okay, so Chi Tern, how was the training experience here at Rajah Tann?
Well, I may be a corporate lawyer today, but I actually started out in the international arbitration practice for my first 6 months as an RLT. That was very different from what I'm doing today, but I think at least it allowed me to see how dispute resolution actually works in practice, and I realized it wasn't for me. So in my second 6 months, I actually swapped over to corporate. As a trainee and as a young lawyer, I think, you know, many of you would have already heard, it's not an easy life, so you may have long hours, but I think end of the day, if you put your mind to it and tell yourself that the first few years are really you setting the foundation for your entire legal career, then you know, you build a very good base, and you have you know, a long way to go, and you basically can do anything with a very solid legal foundation.
Yeah, that's right. So maybe you could tell us about, you know, what you missed the most in law school when you were.
Well, I suppose when you start work, you have responsibilities. There are pressures. You have to embrace adulthood.
So did you start off like wanting to be a corporate lawyer when you were in law school?
I actually did. But when I spoke to the persons who were recruiting in the firm at that point in time, they convinced me to try dispute resolution. So at the end of the day, I'm glad I tried it, right? And got it on my system. So I think the message for a lot of these students is don't be shy to try, especially during internships. Do both corporate and disputes internships, and at least find out where you're at and where your interests really lie.
So would you encourage the first year students who have done internship at Rajah Tann before, like maybe when they get their second year now, would you encourage them to come back to do an internship?
Try the different firms out there. If you have already done an internship here, go elsewhere, right? Because you already know how this firm is, what the culture is like. We are very warm, we are very friendly, we play hard, but we work very, very hard.
So the team spirit is very
yes,
strong as well.
Yes, that's the very important thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so we also want to ask, so for students who are interested in doing corporate work next time, do you have any advice for them? What can they do now in preparation for that?
I get good foundations in the core modules like your company's law, contracts, commercial law. But I think most importantly, understand what is going on in the market. So a lot of interviewees for training contracts don't actually know what's going on in the market.
So commercial awareness.
Commercial awareness, like you ask them what are the hot topic issues, what are the deals going on in the market, they can't answer that. So always read the Financial Times, the Business Times, the Economist. Get a monthly, weekly subscription. These are available in the library. There is so much knowledge available on the internet today. So stay on top of what is going on in the corporate world.
I think we come to our last question, which is what goals and aspirations do you have for our UKSLSS?
I hope that UKSLSS will be more than just a student body which advertises internship opportunities, training contract opportunities. I hope that through your Lost and Found weekly editorial that you guys send out, you highlight important issues. What's going on in the world, whether it's corporate transactions, dispute-related developments. Put that in the blast which goes out to students, right? So even though some of them may not proactively go, and keep track, at least someone is helping them do it and giving them, key pointers. I think that's important. Also important to make sure everyone stays connected to home, especially this year and next year in COVID times. I know there are a lot of students who are still in the UK, a lot of Singaporean students who are still in the UK and haven't come back. A lot of you are here and haven't actually gone back to the UK. So I think it's important for everyone to be connected, and UKSLSS can be the platform for that. When I was a student, UKSLSS actually organised an event with Contact Singapore, where many of the law firms in Singapore went up for the event. The draw for many of the students going for the event was the chicken rice, which Contact Singapore provided, as part of the refreshments. And that was actually how I got recruited by this firm. Yeah. So we had to submit a CV, and the firm actually called me up, and I had lunch with the then managing partner, Stephen Chong, and that's how I ended up joining Rajah Tann.
Yeah, I know that Rajah Tann also organizes a lot of mooting competitions, but now we can't do it anymore.
Yep, we actually do go up to the UK once a year for recruitment. Unfortunately for 2020 we weren't able to do it. For 2021, if we do go, I think it will be towards the end of the year. Fingers crossed, hopefully we will be able to do it.
Yeah, so we can look forward to those engagements with Rajah Tann.
Yes, definitely.
And will we have chicken rice?
We can see how we can plan it.
Yeah,
as long as you guys organize it, we'll sponsor the chicken rice.
Must be Hainanese Singapore chicken rice.
Yes, has to be Singapore chicken rice.
Yep, okay, so we've come to the end of our interview, and thank you Chi Tern so much for his sharing about Rajah Tann himself. So we hope that you enjoyed this video.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone.